Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today we're going to talk about the Battlefield 1 Winter Update. This is not only a patch to the game that fixes bugs and balances weapons, but it's also adding in a progression system. It's really the start of the progression system. The devs talked about some of the details on this on a recent live stream, and they really were adamant about this just being the beginning of their progression system and how there's going to be a lot more stuff down the road. The biggest progression update that we're going to see in this patch, though, is the ribbon system. There's 20 new ribbons. They'll award you 300 points for things like getting a certain amount of headshots in a round or a certain amount of kills with sniper rifles or with SMGs or with LMGs. There's a whole bunch that rewards different styles of gameplay, and there's going to be more coming. Ones that even reward PTFO gameplay as well, probably capturing the flag and so on and so forth. And whether or not you care about these colorful little ribbons popping up on your screen every now and then while you're playing in a round doesn't really matter, because they actually do give you a significant amount of more points. At the end of a Conquest game or Operations game mode, they're going to increase your overall points by, I'd say, 10 to 30% depending on how many ribbons you get. So this is going to be a great boost into how fast you rank up overall, and at the end of the day you're going to be able to actually go into your soldier profile in the menu system and see just what kind of a player you are based on how many ribbons you have of certain types. So the ribbons are already making the game feel a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more alive when it comes to an actual progression system. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think they need a lot more ribbons, definitely PTFO ribbons, one based on capturing or defending flags or playing specific types of game modes. I miss those ones from previous Battlefield games, and I'm sure we will be seeing them in the near future. Now, they've also increased the class rank from rank 10 all the way up to 50, so you can progress from rank 10 up to 50 if you've gotten a 10 already. It's not going to add on experience that you've already gained in the game. Nothing's going to play out retroactively as it never has in previous Battlefield games. It's kind of an underwhelming upgrade. I like the fact that you can rank your class up higher and it should represent your rank better, but you're not going to get any sort of cosmetic upgrades other than the very small emblem color change of your actual class type. This is a very, very minor upgrade, and I hope DICE adds more to this down the road, because I have a feeling it's going to take quite a while to get your class up to rank 50, and the visual difference for it is going to be barely noticeable. Now, there's also 8 new elite codices in the game. These are sort of taking the place of weapon masteries from previous Battlefield games, and basically it's a 500 kill requirement with 8 of the new weapons. There's the Automatico and the 1897 shotgun for the assault class. Then the medic has the Substellator 1916 and the M1907. The recon class gets the SMLE sniper rifle and the M95 sniper rifle, and then support gets the M1909 machine gun and the Madsen machine gun as well. So those 8 weapons can all get mastery codices, and once you achieve 500 kills with those weapons from this point on, from the point of the patch and on, so it doesn't matter how many kills you've gotten so far, once you get those elite codices, you'll get an extra 25,000 experience, and you'll see sort of a cool looking codice in your inventory. Unfortunately, there's no cosmetic unlock for the weapon, which also I think is kind of is really disappointing. It would be cool if they added like maybe a golden nameplate to the side of the weapon that counted your kills or something like that. Just some sort of neat little upgrade you could get from mastering a weapon, I think would really just add all that much more to the cool factor of this game. Now, that's all that's been added in terms of the progression system for now. It's a decent start. I'm hoping that there's significantly more down the road, though, especially weapon skins or soldier cosmetic upgrades. That would be really cool to see. Now, the patch has also brought a whole bunch of weapon balance changes. These aren't necessarily significant changes, but across the board, they should kind of make weapons feel a bit more consistent. Shotguns should definitely feel more consistent. Hunters being the ultimate long-range shotgun, and extended shotguns being better for close quarters. Now, one of the more significant updates was to the Substellator 1906, which is what I'm using right here. This has been one of my least favorite weapons in the game, not necessarily because it's so terrible for killing someone, but because its ability to kill multiple targets is the worst in the game, and I like to play game modes with lots of players, so it hasn't been that usable. But the update made the weapon significantly more accurate. Unfortunately, it added a weird sort of animation glitch when you're done shooting the weapon, which is really visually annoying, but doesn't really affect the performance too much. Now, the weapon itself has gotten significantly better, more accurate overall. I think it's one of the better weapons in the game for killing a stationary target. Unfortunately, a lot of the good players you run into are not going to be stationary, which is going to make this a trickier weapon to use. I feel if Battlefield was a game where it was like a 5v5 and you were consistently running into 1v1 matchups, this would be a pretty decent weapon. But since you're always running into a lot more players, and since I feel like I always need a weapon that can deal with more targets, it's still something I'm probably not going to be using too much. However, if you're a fan of the auto-loading 8, the Seirigori, or the M1907 for the medic, then you're going to be happy because all three of those weapons have reduced side-to-side recoil. So that's a pretty good thing. That's going to make them more accurate overall, more spammable in general, which is good because I think the medic weapons have been some of the more difficult to use weapons in the game, and making them more accurate will definitely make them a bit more appealing to the general player base. The patch also mentioned that it increased the damage for the Martini Henry within its sweet spot kill radius. Now, the Martini Henry did 100 damage prior, so I'm not really sure what the point of increasing that damage is, unless it's now going to be able to get a one-shot kill by hitting other parts of the body, or at least do more damage when hitting other parts of the body. It'll be interesting to test this out. It's something I didn't get to test out yet, but if you were upset with the last Martini Henry nerf, hopefully this will be enough to bring it back in line a little bit more. Doubtful that it's going to be quite as god tier as the golden days of the Martini Henry, but I have a feeling more people will be using it if the patch did a decent job of increasing that sweet spot damage. Now, there was a few weapon nerfs as well. The patch notes say the Automatico Trench, but Simthic forums say the Automatico Storm actually got a horizontal recoil nerf, as well as the Hellriegel. So those two SMGs for the Assault class might be a little bit less accurate than you remember them from before. Also, sadly for the support class, the M1909 Storm, Madsen Storm, MG15 Storm, and the BAR Storm all had their horizontal recoil increased. I was testing out the Bar Storm a bit. It's still pretty decent, so I would say if you enjoy any of the Storm variants of these machine guns, you're probably still going to enjoy them. Just be aware that there's a little bit more horizontal recoil this time. So generally speaking, they're going to be a little bit less accurate, probably making them less effective at further ranges. Now, there's also been a pretty significant change for custom server options out there. We might start seeing a lot more custom servers popping up. One is that the custom servers are going to be shown on the server browser a bit better. They've also added in some more admin tools, like the ability to kick people from your server. So kick ban options are going to be in there, which is something that I know a lot of admins have wanted for a while. There's also going to be the cool map voting at the end of the round. Now, this option is off by default, so server admins are going to have to turn on map voting. Hopefully we'll see map voting as an option on some of the default DICE servers as well. I think that would be really cool just to have it on by default and let people choose between at least 2 different maps at the end of the round. So hopefully these new incentives will popularize the custom servers and the privately owned servers a bit more. So if you want some cool map rotations or game rules, hopefully there will be some full servers playing those. Some of the better gameplay experience updates that I think everybody's going to benefit from are the fact that gas grenade duration has been reduced from 22 seconds to 15 seconds. I think everybody can rejoice with that. Hopefully it's enough to make the game more bearable, but if not, I think DICE is probably prepared to take it a step further if need be. Anyway, if you want to read through every single patch detail, I will put a link in the video description down below. This is a really good patch, a significant update for Battlefield 1, and I believe we will also be seeing another patch with the drop of the first DLC. So a good start by DICE, if not a bit late, but hopefully this is a sign of many good things to come. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.